Hello and welcome to the Acting Coach Network podcast. I'm your host, Savannah Madden, acting coach, award-winning theatre school owner and business coach for performing arts professionals who want more time, more income and zero burnout. Today's guest is a truly wonderful human being who has spent the last 15 years quietly transforming lives through the performing arts. Katie Taborn is the founder of Jazz Hands Performing Arts, which she rebranded this year after running her formerly named business, Pipsqueaks Performing Arts, for over a decade. What began as a way of building confidence in children through drama, dance and singing has since expanded into nurseries, after-school clubs, and nursing homes, where she works with adults living with dementia and even dance classes designed specifically to help women build their self-esteem and self-belief. Katie is a single parent who has raised 2 children while growing her business. She has navigated divorce, house moves, and the day-to-day challenges of being both mum and business owner, and she has done it all with compassion, resilience, and a lot of hard work. Katie is known in her community not only for her creativity, but for her generosity, referring work to colleagues when she can't take it on, supporting other business owners, and lifting people up rather than competing with them. Now, as she approaches her 50th birthday, Katie is entering a new chapter. She's channeled everything she's learned into the Performing Arts Pro and her business in a box model, helping others to create party and class businesses that are rewarding, sustainable, and flexible enough to fit around family life. She also continues to perform herself as a mistress of ceremonies, keeping her confidence sharp and her love of the stage alive. Katie is someone who embodies the values of passion, perseverance and community. She's built a business that has carried her family for 15 years and touched countless others along the way. It's such a pleasure to have her here to share her story. Katie Taborn, welcome to the Acting Coach Network podcast.
Thank you, Savannah, for having me. I'm totally overwhelmed. I messaged you yesterday to say I was so overwhelmed reading that intro. So thank you very much. It embodied everything the last 15 years completely. So thank you for that. It was very, very touching.
Oh, you're so welcome, Katie. We haven't known each other actually that long, but you have had a huge impact on my outlook on things in just the short amount of time that we've known each other. So I can't even imagine the people that have known you for between 10 and 15 years. But enough of the gushing. Let's get on with it, shall we? Let's start at the beginning. Tell us all about Jazz Hands Performing Arts.
Right. Okay. So the beginning, I founded, as you say, Pipsqueaks, and at the time I had a small community class in a couple of church halls. We had one nursery and one after-school club, and splattering of parties. So back then, the social media wasn't as huge as it is now, and so it was very much leafleting, even messages in newspapers. I think local newspapers and local, publications, posters up, very much word of mouth. Chucking stuff out of the playground when my kids started school. And then someone said, you want to get onto this thing called Facebook? I was like, yeah, I want to stay in touch with social media. Well, it wasn't even called social media. I want to stay in touch with technology because my children are getting older and I want to keep my finger on the pulse because as a parent, kind of got to keep up with the changes, right? And it turned out it was just the best thing ever. I started this page, Pipsqueaks Performing Arts, and all of a sudden, all this marketing advertising was happening, and it was like a spider's web. It really was a spider's web of marketing on the computer. It wasn't even on phones then, really. So that's where, from the beginning, where there was no social media, to now, where it's all about social media. Yeah, it was a slow burn and a slow build, but I do think both times have their challenges, with or without social media have their challenges. But it's certainly been great to build Jazz Hands, and also the word of mouth still is one of the biggest and best things, because every time you do a party or every time you're in a class in front of parents, you're on stage, aren't you? You're performing. You're just always, it's so exhausting, isn't it?
It sure is.
Always sort of, whether you're on a live on social media, or whether you're in the playground with parents, when you've got that hoodie on, even when I haven't got the hoodie on, it's Katie from Jazz Hands or Pipsqueaks. Mm-hmm. It's like, we go shopping and the kids, you just know everyone.
And so was it the use of social media that really helped propel your business into nurseries, after school clubs and nursing homes, or were you already establishing yourself quite well before social media?
Yeah, I think it was quite well established before, but it certainly helped, because when I found the nursing homes, which is actually more quite recent, that was after 2021, and there was an advert on a local group. I'm an activity coordinator in a nursing home. I've always wanted to do intergenerational classes. My children were at school. There wasn't time to slot it into the business. Thought, I'll park that and pick it up when I've got the time or when the opportunity arises. And you never know when they're going to arise, do you? These opportunities sometimes. And I answered it, messaged this lady, Louisa. We had a great conversation. We had a meeting within a couple of days and really hit it off. And she really helped me propel it, actually. And then I got into about 5 or 6 nursing homes every month, which was just so humbling and eye-opening, and a massive leap from, doing nurseries and after-school clubs, and then to going to these incredible adults in these homes, and the staff, of course, as well. So in that respect, it was that social media post that skyrocketed the jazzy generations.
Oh, I love that. Jazzy generations.
Yeah, they're my jazzy. They were OA Pips. So when I was Pipsqueaks, I was trying to keep things on brand. But they're now my jazzy generations. So yeah, in answer to your question, yeah, social media had a massive, and of course parents are all on it for the PTAs, for their WhatsApp groups. The WhatsApp group's been a game changer. Staying in touch with parents has just been, and we forget WhatsApp is part of social media.
So you mentioned that you rebranded earlier this year. What made you decide to rebrand, and what difference has it made to your business?
Okay, so Pipsqueaks is very much, it was very well established and very well known. And a lot of people to see it say, is it a soft play? Is it a nursery? They'd see the logo. The logo was very busy. It was very 1990s. It was very sort of between knees, and, that the vibe it gave was, I want something sleek and clean. Because I wanted to generate this business in a box opportunity, I wanted something a little bit more generic. I wanted a clean, sleek, up-to-date logo, and something that was going to be able to be added to. So the jazzy generations and the after-school clubs are now called Act 1 and Act 2. And there's one
That's
logo,
awesome.
whereas I had loads of different logos for everything. And it was all a bit, it looked like the inside of my head, quite frankly. And it was literally just this colourful mess, really. So I wanted to just streamline it all, bring it into 2025, which then business in a box will then be, obviously look a little bit cleaner, a little bit sleeker. And also I went into a company's house and there wasn't a Jazz Hands Performing Arts. So as soon as I thought of it, Jazz Hands Performing Arts. There isn't one. Right, I've taken that. I couldn't believe there wasn't one. And jazz hands was very much a big thing. I trained at Lane Theatre Arts in Epsom. Jazz hands has always been my thing. People always said, shake your jazz hand. And so that, do you know what? Yeah, it's really simple. It's effective. And people know what it is then. When you say Pipsqueaks, it's like, well, what's that? Say jazz hands. It's to do with performing arts. It was taking the business in a box to hopefully become a nationally recognised brand eventually. Yeah, make it a lot more recognisable, clean and up to date.
Has the feedback from your clients been really positive, that it is so much clearer?
Absolutely. I was amazed, actually. I go into the schools now and I'd literally just sent them all an email to say, I am rebranding at Easter. And as soon as we came back after Easter break, right, who's for Jazz Hands? They instantly, no one calls it Pipsqueaks anymore.
That's pretty incredible. That's a really quick
really
transition.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really chuffed to bits. And I was quite pleased with myself the way I organised it, because I could be quite messy with things because there's so much going on.
Come on, we're all creatives. That's how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah. But I did a big build up of the launch. Obviously, we talked about it, I think, as well, on the business retreat. I did a big build up of the launch. It was my son and I, Rory, and we announced it with Molly. She dialed in from Australia. She was travelling. So I wanted to keep it, because it is the business that grows with your family, because they've been here, I've had it 15 years. He was 16 last week. Molly works in the business now. She was always going to come back and do some teaching. And yeah, it's a family business. I come from a background of family business, and that's what we are. We don't want to carry that ethos on as well. It's really, really important.
And you've said that parties are your speciality. So can you tell us what makes a great performing arts party, and what do the parents love the most? Also the kids, but I'd quite like to know what the parents love most.
So the kids love the energy, the enthusiasm and the dancing, and my parties are, and as our classes try to be, quick fire, because the second you lose them, especially in a party, they go off and, someone's put the food out, someone's got drinks, someone's got the balloons. You've got to keep it quick fire. That's really important for a performing arts party, I find. And the chance to perform, whether they want to do it solo, in pairs, threes, or as a group, just so that everybody gets that opportunity to find their inner performer and also their confidence really does grow at parties. It's not just about being in an educational setting at school. It's the social environment, isn't it, that builds your confidence as well. So that's really key for me. As the parents, I'd run it as more of a party service. So from the initial inquiry, we get straight onto WhatsApp. We have voice messages, or I send them the breakdown of the party. Have you thought about this? Do you need to find somewhere to get a cake? They're like, oh yeah, I haven't thought about that. So it's a bit more of an event planning service, really. So that's what the parents enjoy. I've had so many parents say, thank you, Katie, because, you know, for some people it's just a party, but when you're 5, it's a party. And it's got to be great. It's got to be organised. It's got to be, you know. So the parents like the organisation, I think, of it all. And the craziness of it, it's just bonkers. I get some parents, they're pouring the Prosecco, they're dancing away, and, you know, they love it, and they're just, you know, just all involved in it as well. So it's a big family affair.
Yeah, definitely sounds like my kind of party. For the planning service that you offer these days, it's a lot of pressure on the families, isn't it, to throw a good party? A lot of pressure. There's quite a lot of competition. Can I say that? That there's a bit of competition going on between families on who can throw the best party. Do you think there's any truth in that?
Do you think so? And my tagline when I first started, and it still is actually, they are talk of the playground parties, because that's what they do. That's where parents talk, right? They talk, or families talk in the playground. Oh, did you see the magician? He was great. Oh, have you got the number of that entertainer? Not just parties, but whatever, you know, people talk, don't they? So if it's not spot on, you're not going to get that ripple effect. Yes, there is the pressure. And they like familiarity as well. Sometimes I walk in, and if I'm doing party for my after school club kiddos, they'll go, oh, Katie's here, it's Katie, it's a jazz hands party, and they just engage straight away, and they get the most out of it. But yeah, there can be, as you say, pressure, but that's why I like to take the pressure off the parents, and B, the child. And more importantly, so many parents say, oh yeah, she wouldn't like a performing arts, but she doesn't want to get up and perform. I was like, give her to me for a while, she'll be performing. And the tears that I get from some mums are just blown away that their child stands up and sings maybe just Twinkle Twinkle into the microphone in front of all their friends, this sea of faces. That's big, that's huge.
It is.
And oh my God, I've never seen them do that before. And it's lovely. It's really, really lovely. And there's also the children that are literally want to hold on to mum or dad. So I'll bring them in as like a DJ and say, can you press stop and start on the phone for the music? So every child's in going, next thing you know, they're up dancing, and the parents are like, thanks. It's like, go and have a cup of tea. Or a beer,
or a glass, or a glass of,
or whatever they're offering. Yeah, just go relax. I've got it. It's fine. So that's where the pressure is taken off.
I would love you to explain your idea behind your amazing business in a box. What does it include, and who is it for?
Okay, business in a box literally is that. It's all packaged up ready for you. So I like to keep everything on brand, but also within the performing arts world. So it's not a guidebook, it's a production book, as we have backstage. So you have this production book, and in that is literally everything you need to know to run your business in a box. So you can sit and you can flick through that. You can have it online. You get access to a portal, and in that portal will be training videos from me. So lots of chats and guides on how to approach nurseries, approach schools. There will be your lesson plans. There'll be a year's worth of lesson plans in there. There is a year of support included as well from me. So we have Zoom calls, we have WhatsApp chats and whatever, which will be scheduled in. But essentially you're getting this blueprint, you're getting all the party plans, you're getting the Jazzy Generation plans as well, how to deliver, to send children. I've got 2 send tutors who are writing that section, or who have written that section with me. That's very, very important, because with SEND being, coming more and more at the forefront of education as well, there are some guidelines and certain things that we need to do. So I've pulled in some specialists there. So it's for anybody really, if you're a graduate, if you're coming out of performing arts college or university. And it is like a little bit like Molly is almost like a guinea pig really, because she's only 19 and she's delivering jazz hands herself. So she's learning all the backstage stuff, all the admin as well. So it's for graduates. It's for maybe teachers that want to come out of the pressure of teaching assistants who want to do something. I spoke to a lady the other day. She said, I love it when we do that. And I said, well, you could do that, as your own business. Oh, I couldn't do that. Went, give me a ring. Yeah, you could.
With my support, you could.
Absolutely. And for mums that can't go back to work, don't want to go back to work, because I've done it. It's proven for 15 years. It's the business that grows with your family. I've been at every single Harvest Festival, carol concert, all the things, all the pickups. I've had my friends have said my boss is really cross. I don't have that because I'm the boss. And I've been there for them, and it's really, really has been the business that grows with your family, and been able to support us through a lot of, personal things, built it up so much that, we managed to move house, and I've given them, we've had holidays and bits and pieces. So we don't do badly at all. It's not without hard graft, but yeah, it's really for anybody that has an interest in building confidence in kids using the arts, but you don't have to be performing arts trained.
There's going to be so many tools, lessons, information, everything you need, all in the portal, ready for you to get going, isn't there?
And it's not just in the portal, it's me having chats with you and guiding you through it, helping you through it 100%, because I'm not in the business of just pay the deposit and there's the portal, off you go and pay your money and do a runner. It's about helping people really, really build the business that they're proud of. And also they get all the branding, but they can build their own website. I can guide them to someone if that's what they want to do. They can have their own website. They go and buy their own props. They use their own music. It's jazz hands, but it's your personal stamp on it, if that makes sense.
So it's brilliant. You get all the foundations and then you can sprinkle your own personality into it. Love that. If people are thinking, particularly those of us who have families, what have you noticed helps you balance your family life with running your business day to day?
So I would say, in my early days when I was married, it was easy to say, "Well, Daddy's doing dinner and I'm on the phone, I'm answering emails," and it was literally party booking coming. I have to answer it. I haven't used out of office as much as I should have, or as early as I should have done in my business career, I have to be honest. So I would manage things a lot better than I did in the early days, and that's where I hope to help anyone that does want to take on a jazz hands business in a box. Manage your time a lot better. Don't do what I do as I say, don't do as I do. So out of office, that sort of thing, making sure you've got time. The times I do remember that my two, Molly and Rory, saying, "You're always on your phone, you're always working." It's like, yeah, I was always doing the social media posting, because you're everybody, aren't you? You're marketing, your finance, your HR, your lesson planning, your delivering. So we just have this hat, just everything. So I would say separate things out more. But I have learned as I've got older to take much more time for myself, put it down, get in the kitchen, have a glass of wine, kitchen disco, muck around with the kids, get out of the house, because we do a lot of our admin at home. A lot of self-care I'm only just learning after this year. And now that I'm feeling a lot better, that is a massive key for me. And that's why in my 50th year, as you said, I'm shifting to put me first a little bit more, and that's as a business owner, as a mum, and as a woman, really, just to look after myself a little bit more. And that's what I suggest everybody does. However that looks for you.
I think everybody will really resonate with that and think, yes, I really needed to hear that today. So being a performing arts business owner comes with all sorts of challenges as well as the ups, especially when you, as you said earlier, wear all the hats and, you're very much the face of your business. So have you ever suffered with imposter syndrome?
All the time in the early days. Yep. Never think you're good enough. And I think a lot of that also comes in from being a parent running a business as well, because you've got all the hormones flying around your own body as well. So he was only 1 when I started it as well. She was 4. So it was all a bit, I can't do this. And the reason I started, so I was a college lecturer, and then I got married, had the children. And it was somebody, because I really wanted to get back into teaching. I wanted to go back to teaching performing arts. I wanted to go back to what I trained in right before I became a mum. And someone said to me, "But you're a performing arts specialist." I was like, "Not." "Well, you did all those years at Leigh Theatre Arts training, and you did all the 6 years of college and university." "Oh, yeah, that makes me a bit of a specialist, right?" "Yeah, oh yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, okay." Then I marked myself, I put it on my CV, Katie Taborn, performing arts specialist. "Ah, okay, that sounds quite good. I do know what I'm talking about." So absolutely, and that it doesn't creep in as much anymore. I don't allow it to go, off you pop. Because it's about not looking at the competition. Because if you're obsessing with your competition, your competitors, and they're not your friends in business, then that's going to really creep the imposter syndrome. Stay in your own lane, which is what I learned. Stay in your own lane, and make friends with people that are. I've got other businesses in the area who are run disco parties and bits and pieces. And if I can't do a party, I'll refer to them. Because we're friends, we go out for coffee, we go out for lunches. And I remember once actually we were in Epsom, and there were some old friends of mine who got performing arts, dance school businesses and stuff, and there were a couple of mums. They said, "Oh, you're all having lunch together, but you're all the competition. It was like, we're all friends. And if I don't run a class, I think, my classes aren't really good for you. I'll refer you to them. You don't need me. You need my friends over here. So that I find is much, much better for the soul than to be competition, oh, look at them, I've got to do it better than them. That's much kinder to your own soul and to everyone around you. And the other thing as well, as you asked earlier on about parents with the parties, what do they like? They like to see that as well, because I get messages saying, thank you so much for referring so-and-so. We had a great time. Maybe we'll see you next year. And that's just what it's all about, isn't it? It's about sharing. There's enough work for everyone, if I'm honest. I'm waving my arms around a lot. I feel very passionate about that. There's no need to be like that. Certainly in business, you can be friends in business.
Totally. And it's just building better ethics, isn't it? It's having an ethical business. People will see that.
And with integrity, absolutely. 100%.
And people buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Say that. Yeah. And also, I think that's gives you a longevity, doesn't it? I remember saying it, and I hate to use this word. I hate to bring up the 2020. But when we came out the other side, and I was back, and I was not in any nurseries anymore, and I was in a couple of after school clubs, and I was doing a few parties. It didn't matter. I was still there, and I sort of in about, I think last year or year before, 23, 24. I said to another one of my friends who's got performing arts business. So I said, "But we survived. We survived it. Look at what we've done. We've come through the other side, and sadly so many businesses couldn't, much bigger businesses than me couldn't survive that, but we're survivors, right? Why have I got imposter syndrome? I've just done one of the hardest things I could probably have ever done in business, and I've come out the other side, and I'm feeling bigger, better, stronger, and rebranding and business in a boxing.
That's just the best way to run a business, and if you believe in karma, I think that the more good you put out, the more good you receive. Everything's reflected back to you. So if you're putting out all the good
100%.
vibes and making good connections and everything, and I know that over the summer you took the whole summer off, and you still obviously received inquiries, and that you referred those on. So you've built really good connections with other business owners. But from a collaboration point of view, are there any collabs where you have got a really good story of where something's paid off for you, where you've collaborated with somebody and it's worked really well?
Yes, I have actually. So I went to a local business networking. It's called co-working. And I met this lady who was a cake baker and decorator. First time she'd ever been to this thing. And we hit it off straight away. She's called Tammy. And she had a business called Tammy's Cakes and Cookies. And I said, oh, and this was literally on our first meeting. We had a little chat, and I said, well, I'd like to be able to refer you to my parents and families for birthday cakes. She said, oh, actually, I've got a van called Esther, and I have got a bar, coffee, tea making facilities, and I serve cakes. She said, how do you think that your parents or your families would like some catering along with their party? And I was like, oh my goodness me, this sounds amazing. We came up with, literally within a couple of hours of meeting each other, our business name was Piesta. Pips and Esther, Piesta, and we were Piesta parties. And we did really well. And then COVID obviously hit about 2 years later after that. But we did really well, and we collaborated with, she did the food, I did the entertainment, we did the party planning and the events. It was absolutely brilliant. It was so, so good. We had our own logo. We had our little caricatures of us, and it was totally separate to our other businesses. But it worked an absolute treat. It was just really sad that that had to go. However, during COVID, we were still piestering because people were asking for pipsqueaks, and then they were going to Tammy. I was shouting out on, go to Tammy for your cakes, and she would deliver. Yeah. So we were literally still piestering. I was like, that's a Tammy cake. And it was amazing. We're really firm friends. I'm seeing her next week. So that is, a brilliant collaboration. And I love collaborating with other small local businesses. It's just really part of my soul. We've got one of the oldest family businesses in London, my family. It started dating back from 1860. And you talk about longevity and customer service. That's what my dad is still in the shop in Tooting in South London, age 77, where his great-great-grandfather was, so it's really part of my blood, really, to collaborate and support independent business, because we're the backbone of this country, I think.
Absolutely. The economy couldn't survive without us. No, totally.
My kids wouldn't have the work ethic they've got if they didn't see me do what I do, 100%. And they wouldn't have the confidence that they've got. So that's, it's been huge.
Setting an
for all
example,
of us, really.
isn't it?
Yeah. Getting all excited,
again,
sorry.
And again, with your Piesta business, that is, again, creating a whole package for parents to buy. And in this world that we live in now, where we live in a world of immediacy and that we want things right away, our time is our most precious asset, and it's the thing that we can't get more of. And
Absolutely.
we just want other people to help us out with things, don't we? So getting a whole package where someone just goes, yeah, this is all a whole done for you process is brilliant. And I think that that is what is going to really appeal to people about your business in a box as well, that everything is there for
Yes,
them.
thank you.
They just need to put in the graft and the hard work to make it all work, and obviously be the face of their own business, but with all of the extra support from you.
And you said that you want them to be the face of their own business, 100%. Yeah.
And you've lived a very fruitful life, Katie, and you are approaching 50. You have talked about social media growth, business growth, bringing up a family. It must get a bit overwhelming sometimes. Do you have any boundaries that you put in place, any habits that you've got that you have tried to put in place to help with the overwhelm?
Yeah. More so recently, because the reason I had the summer off was I had a full-on hysterectomy. So at the very beginning of the summer holidays on the 19th of July. So thankfully I was able to take the whole 8 weeks off. And that's given me a lot of time to reflect and think about overwhelm and about the anxiety. And it turns out that certain things that they had to remove were causing a lot of that depression and anxiety, condition called endometriosis. And I just spiraled and spiraled and spiraled. And coming out the other side yesterday was my first official day back, and I just feel so much lighter. It's unbelievable. And I'm just taking that on as more time for me. If I need to rest, I will go and lay in my bed. I mean, even Molly said to me, yeah, you do look a bit tired. And I said, yeah, I feel tired. Go and lay down. She said, oh, it's all right, I'll do dinner. And it's also educating your kids at home and your partner or whoever you live with. So, do you know what? I need a bit of a hand. Not taking it all on. Asking for help is okay. When Molly said, oh, I'll do the dinner. No, it's fine. And I was like, no, do you know what? That would be great. Thanks, darling. Yeah, that's good. Rory, empty the dishwasher. Yeah, all right, Mum. Put the rubbish out. Yeah, okay. Rather than go, oh, I'll do it. It's easier if I do it myself. Actually, no one needs to be a martyr. Not that I was being a martyr. But, yeah, delegating and literally going, it's okay. It's all right. It's only money. The bills will be paid when it needs to be. That's okay. It will be sorted out. The guttering will get sorted out eventually. The lawn will be mowed whenever. It's not a problem. Are we healthy? Are we happy? Are we good? Yeah, that's what's important. Putting things back into perspective for me is a huge thing at the moment. I've got so many friends that are poorly and that are, having treatment for certain things and what have you, whether it's mental health or physical. Your health is your wealth at the end of the day. And that's what's key. That's what I would say to people. Just really remember that. Everything else will work out.
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story over the summer with us and talking so openly and so honestly about what has been going on for you and how it has given you time to reset, have a good think about things and reevaluate maybe the really important things in life, which we all know, don't
Absolutely.
we? We all know that our health is our wealth. We all know it, but sometimes it can just be really difficult when we're on that hamster wheel to kind of take stock. And I'm so pleased that you have been putting yourself at the front of everything. You've got your two lovely children to support you.
Yeah, am I. I'm really pleased that I am finally doing that, and actually I'm entering my next decade as, strong, powerful. Yeah, and looking after myself because they need me still.
Of course.
And I need them. But we're going to on our next journey together, which is really, really exciting. So
yeah. What an inspiration. So Katie, at the end of every episode, I always ask each guest the same question, and that is, if you could give one piece of advice to a fellow creative who's feeling stuck or unsure right now, what would it be?
It's quite simple. Just be unapologetically you. Because that's enough. That's more than enough. That's all I'd say.
Where can people find out a little bit more about you? Where can we find you on socials if we want to connect with you? And how can we find out more about the business in a box?
Okay, so you can go into jazz-hands-performing-arts.co.uk, and there's a tab there about the business in a box. You can read a little bit more about that. You can get on the waiting list. You can contact me with any questions. There's no time whatsoever just to have a chat. That's absolutely fine. I'm on Facebook as Jazz Hands Performing Arts. I'm also the Performing Arts Pro, if you want to look me up on there. I am also on Instagram, Jazz Hands Performing Arts, and as the Performing Arts Party Pro.
And have you got a free resource or anything else like that that you can share with any of us that would like it?
I have actually. I've got a little freebie I can drop you, which is your 5 top tips to propel your party income. I've got my Party Pros private group as well. So pop yourself in there and have a little look. It's a nice little community we're building. It's all for free.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, Katie. You have been absolutely
Thank you.
wonderful. I think so many people will take lots of lovely nuggets of info from this episode. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Savannah. I can't tell you, it's been my first ever podcast. I'm very, very thrilled. So thank you. You started my next chapter really, really well. So thank you, darling. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Acting Coach Network podcast. If you loved what you heard, make sure you're following. And if you've got a moment, I'd love you to leave a quick review or share the episode with someone else in the industry who might just need it. You can find me on Instagram at the Acting Coach Network. And if you're looking for support to grow your coaching business or creative career without burning out, then check out the latest tips, tricks, and behind the scenes over on my Instagram. And you can also find my latest free resource in the show notes. I'll be back soon with more real conversations, expert insights, and tools to help you build a business you love. Until next time, keep going, stay kind to yourself, and I'll see you soon.